listening to Tassie Encounters Moments on Faith FM, and we're coming to you from Tasmania, right across Australia. Each weekday at 9 a.m, you can hear what the Bible says about the past, current and future events. You can learn how to study the Bible more effectively. You can get to know who God is, why we're here, and where we're going. And you can experience personal encounters with Jesus. I'm your host, Jason Cook, and once again, Jacob Ellis is back with us this week on our Tassie Encounters program. Been looking at the topic all week, a grave misunderstanding, looking at the grave of Jesus Christ and the resurrection. I want to remind our listeners that you can go and listen to the past episodes if you've missed any this week. Just jump on the website, faithfm.com.au, or go and download the app, Faith FM Australia app, from your app store on your phone. It's a great way to listen. Now, Jacob, we've been going through in quite some detail the events surrounding the resurrection and the women going to find Jesus to prepare his body for the obviously the burial, the long-term process that they would go through to prepare his body. But when they got there, he wasn't there, and the stone was rolled away. And the angel said, "Why are you looking for the living among the dead?" basically. So, but now you want to refocus a little bit today, I guess.
Yeah, and so the angel, we said yesterday that the question, that it was a clever question that was being asked to the women. Why are you looking for the living among the dead? And I kind of wonder why, and I like to use a little bit of imaginative thinking.
Yes.
A little bit. It's like, what if these guys had actually prepared to search for the living?
Yeah, right, okay.
What would the story look like if they understood what Jesus
if they
was
had
saying?
remembered, as the angel said, if they had remembered and they thought, okay, let's go find him. He's alive.
Exactly. He could be anyway.
Yeah.
And I mean, so I like to use a bit of a imaginative, but I like what you were saying when we were discussing. There was a verse where you were talking about just to illustrate again just how much they didn't understand.
This was in John chapter 10.
And, do you want to read that for us?
Yeah, verse 17, it says, "The Father loves me because I sacrifice my life so I may take it back again. No one can take my life from me. I sacrifice it voluntarily, for I have the authority to lay it down when I want to and also to take it up again, for this is what my Father has commanded." So he was clearly telling them ahead of time that he was going to lay down his life and it was going to take it up again.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So you want to have a think about what would it be different, I guess, or how would things have been if they had expected to find someone living instead of somebody dead?
Yeah, exactly. And so I'd like to encourage us to use the imaginations a little bit, and I'm sure it would be a good discussion. So I guess the first point that we made in Luke 23:55 is that they saw where Jesus was placed.
Yeah, they saw it with their own eyes.
They saw it with their own eyes. And then we read in verse 56 that they went away and prepared spices ready to use on the Sunday. What if they never actually prepared the spices? They saw where he was and they went, "Hey, we're going to put, like today, we put a pin. Okay, here it is. This is the location that he's going to be. This is the event. This is where the greatest thing that we're ever going to see is going to happen.
Yeah.
Our King, our Messiah is going to rise. This is where we're going to be."
So they wouldn't have been taking the spices for burial.
They wouldn't.
They would have been doing something different.
Imagine if they actually were going to the disciples going, "That's where it is.
Yeah.
This is where it's going to happen." And it's very early Sunday morning when this is happening, when they're actually carrying their spices. And so I wonder, what would it actually look like if they actually came at that same time to the tomb and there was just a gathering?
Yeah.
Supposedly there's guards there.
Everyone waiting in expectation.
Exactly. Can you imagine a whole, and we said that there's no life really within the tomb. The most activity there is guards guarding it because they don't want the body stolen. So what if there was just like a whole range of people who are actually expecting Jesus to rise? That imagine, I just imagine the scene.
It'd be a different, very different scene.
It would be a very, very different scene. And we've mentioned that they're carrying spices, and so which is meant for the dead. But I wonder, what if they came with we said expectancy or anticipation. What if they came with like a song meant for like victory, rather than having things to? Yes, it was the ritual at the time. Have things there ready for a dead person. What if they came with like a song of victory? Or a dance or something. I remember from Moses, the time of Moses when they were delivered, there was a song, there was music, there was clapping, there was singing. It was a rejoicing time after the enemy, the Egyptians had been washed or drowned, really, in the Red Sea.
In a way, it's a bit like that song that we played at the end of yesterday's program. It's Because He Lives.
Absolutely.
Because He lives, I can face tomorrow. It's this is a celebration and a song of hope and of joy.
Absolutely. This is not the end. You can't keep my king or Messiah dead. This is really, really cool. And I wonder that the plan that they had, there was a stone that was right in the middle, which was blocking. And they wouldn't, and it's not to be mean to them, they wouldn't have been able to remove it. And so they had a failed plan really from the beginning. That they continued to go, and I'm glad they continued to go because then they actually discovered what had actually happened.
Yeah.
But it was a failed plan from the beginning. They were never going to get in, and I wonder what would it have looked like if they truly had understood and trusted in what Jesus was saying. What would it actually look like there if they really trusted God's plan that it would be fulfilled?
Would have looked very different.
I think it would have looked very different as well. I completely agree there. And so, and another final one, we said that they had forgotten what Jesus had ultimately said, and the messages that they were actually communicating at that point. And so what would have actually happened? And this is the question, what would have happened if they really remembered what Jesus had said? And what would have happened if they actually prepared for the day? I think it would have been a very different story. And I guess when they didn't understand, Jesus was kind of having to convince them, hey,
this was later when he encountered them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And one said, unless I see, and this is being Thomas, unless I see his the nail marks in his hands, I'm not going to believe it. So Jesus is almost having to convince, hey, it's me. It's me. So what if they had really had, and I wonder, and we've said, what if they were actually at the tomb? What if they had actually prepared? What if they remembered? What if they really trusted in the plan, that God's plan would be fulfilled? Imagine the spread of the gospel.
Well, it's interesting, because in one of the gospels, it talks about how the soldiers went to someone and said, what are we going to do? He's gone, he's risen, and it's going to look really bad for us, because, and then they were basically told to make up a story. Well, imagine if there were witnesses there. Do you get what I'm saying? Imagine if there was hundreds of people waiting for the resurrection who saw it with their own eyes, then those soldiers would have no case to make up a story because there would have been too many witnesses.
Exactly.
That could have changed the outcome a little bit as well.
Exactly. And so that you can just see how quickly things could have spread. And now it can sound like I'm pretty negative with these people, but they're humans.
Yeah, of course.
They are humans, and to me, they're thinking like humans. But I guess that this challenges us, to really see who Jesus, to hear, to see what Jesus has said, and to really trust that what he's going to do what he says he's going to do, he's going to do.
And I think too, there's a challenge there for those who may question the historical person of Jesus. There's evidence there, and you've just got to find it. I'd certainly encourage reading the book, and there's also a movie called The Case for Christ, of people who have done that search as well and have found overwhelming evidence for the resurrection of Christ, and ultimately that can change the way people live their lives today.
Absolutely. And so we want to, and I guess if we were to look at a practical application based off of this, we want to be searching for the one who's alive.
Absolutely.
And we ended our program yesterday by saying, if I can remember kind of what it is the one who gives life for life, pretty much. Jesus is the one who gives life, or he is life, and he gives life.
Yeah.
So let's prepare what would it actually look like for us if we were searching diligently for the one who ultimately is life, and searching and craving, I guess, for the life that he offers.
Yeah. He is alive.
And we prepared ourselves for that.
He is alive, and he's promised to give us life even after death.
Absolutely.
That's a pretty good thing to search for, I think. Do join us tomorrow as we continue this story, and our title tomorrow is Preparing for the Return of Jesus, because he is alive and he's promised to come back again. But right now, our book offer, stay tuned.
This program is made possible by the support of Adventist World Radio.
Our book offer this week is Memorable Encounters by Roberto Badinas. There is a first encounter, and the last one will come. But between both, we all have many more. Some of them change the course of our life. But there is just one encounter that can make it, there is just one that can make it attractive and everlasting. Now you can delight in learning through the encounters of men and women who have had that decisive encounter. You can experience the same today. That's our book offer. TEM50 is the code. Text it in to 0488 880 891. That's TEM50, no spaces. Text it in to 0488 880 891. Thank you, Jacob, as we go out today. This is a song called Evidence, and we do hope you can join us tomorrow. May you encounter Jesus more today, and prepare for the return of Jesus.
All throughout my history, your faithfulness has walked beside me. The winter storms made way for spring. In every season, from where I'm standing, I see the evidence of your goodness all over my life, all over my life. I see your promises and fulfillment all over my life, all over my life. Help me remember when I am weak. The fear may come, the fear will leave. yourself, your goodness all over my life, all over my life. Yeah, I see your promises and fulfillment all over my life, all over my
This program has been made possible by the support of Adventist World Radio.